Guys, welcome back to the channel, Nate's Pink Bookshelf. My name is Nate Denise for those of you who are new to the channel or who just happened to stumble across this video. And as the title says, this is my October book haul. So I'm gonna do this video in two parts. The first set of books I'm going to share with you guys are all like Christian fiction books, Christian nonfiction books. And then the second set of books will be my regular fantasies and things like that, because I have a lot of books and I don't want to keep them stacked all over the place. So the first book I'm going to share with you guys is actually a historical fiction. It's a Christian historical fiction, and it's by Brian Litfin, and it's called The Conqueror. It's the first book in the Constantine Empires, and this is historical fiction set in AD 309 during the time of Rome and things like that, Constantine army, and it sounds interesting. It says on the inside, travel back to one of the most pivotal eras in history, a time when devotion to the pagan gods was fading and the Roman Empire was being conquered by the sign of the cross. So it sounds like it's going to be an epic sort of military-esque historical fiction, so I'm excited to dive into that. And I love the hardcover. This cover is just like really nice and like gets me. I don't know why, but I like it. So the next set of books are going to be biblical fiction, and biblical fiction, for people who don't know, is a sort of subgenre of Christian historical fiction that focuses on either stories from the Bible, people from the Bible, events from the Bible, and things like that. So that's what biblical fiction is. So the first one I have here is Mary Magdalene by Diana Wallace Taylor. This is my third book from her, and it follows Mary Magdalene from the Bible. I mean, she was a follower of Christ, so we have this. Then I have The Shepherd's Wife by Angela Hunt. It is the second book in her Jerusalem Road series. I don't know if it's going to be a trilogy or a series, but it's the second book. I do own the first book. And this one is basically biblical fiction all about the sisters of Jesus, if we would have known their names. And in this, you get to look at two of his sisters, if their names were Damaris and Fedora. So I'm excited for this book, and I love the cover. The cover is gorgeous. The last biblical fiction I have is called The Red Tent. This is more of a classic biblical fiction, in a sense, slightly. I don't know when this book was released. When did this book come out? 1997. It has been turned into a Lifetime miniseries called The Red Tent, if I'm not mistaken. But this is all about the daughter of Jacob, whose name is Dinah, and in the Bible she was raped by a guy, and her 12 brothers basically went and slaughtered the people that raped her. So yeah, it is going to be an interesting read. I'm excited to dive into this. So yes, we have this book. Okay, so the next book I have is actually two books, excuse me. The next two books I have are from the same author, and they are Christian fantasy novels, and they're from the same series, which is called Quest of Fire. I have the novella called Succession, and then I have book one, which is called The Gathering. Following that, we have some thrillers and mysteries. So we have this thriller here. It's called 3 by Ted Dekker, and it's classified as like a Christian thriller horror. That cover freaks me out. I'm not gonna lie, it freaks me out. I don't know much about it. On the back, it talks about a guy named Kevin Parson who lives a virtuous life. Obviously he has secrets like most people, and someone named Slater wants him to reveal his secrets. Slater demands that Kevin confesses his sins in the next 3 minutes, or the car he's driving will be blown to pieces. And that is it. That is all that's it. I'm sold. It sounds epic. It sounds interesting. So we have 3. And then I have this one, which is more of a classic. I believe it's a classic. Came out in 1986, so it's like a classic Christian thriller, and it's by Frank E. Peretti. I think that's how you say that name, but it's called This Present Darkness. And on the back, it just says, it's a fast-moving, riveting thriller. This present darkness offers a fascinating glimpse into the unseen world of spiritual warfare and the power of prayer. And that is it. That's all I care to know, and I'm gonna keep it at that. Yep, we're gonna keep it at that. Then we have this one, which is I think it's a thriller mystery. I don't know, on the back it says fiction, but I think it's like a mystery thriller. And it's called If I Run by Terri Blackstock. It is the first book in the If I Run series, and it follows a girl named Casey. Casey knows the truth, but it won't set her free. Her DNA is all over the crime scene. But then there is a war-weary veteran who's hired to find her, but he also suffers from PTSD, and it sounds epic. So we have this book. The next book was actually gifted to me. I won it in a giveaway on Facebook, and it's from Shaen. I don't even know how to say this person's name, but it's co-authored by Nancy Mehl, which I do know who she is. It's called A Slowly Developing Story. It's a part of the Mysteries of Lancaster County from Guidepost, and I heard about Guidepost. They have some great books, biblical fiction, mysteries, and stuff like that. So we have it. I don't know much about it, but I do know this author here. I've read some of her sort of contemporaries, and not contemporaries, it was her mysteries. I've read her thrillers and stuff like that. I've read. So I'm excited to dive into this and see what it's about. So now I have 3 contemporary romances. This one is called The Key to Love by Betsy St. Amant. It's a contemporary romance. I know nothing about it. But it looks like it has to do with like a baker from a bakery. It just looks, I love the cover. The cover is gorgeous. Then we have these two, which come from the same series. So book 1 is The Red Door Inn, and then book 2 is Where Two Hearts Meet. Both by Liz Johnson, and it's from the Prince Edward Island Dreams series. So I have books 1 and 2 for that. Okay, so now we're gonna get, like I said, into the rest of the books. So we have this first one here is an ARC copy of Amari and the Night Brothers by B.B. Alston. I actually got this off of Goodreads. I entered in a bunch of Goodreads giveaways, and I got this one, and I'm super excited for it. So yeah, it's a middle grade fantasy, if I'm not mistaken. It's the first book in an Own Voices trilogy full of magical world-building, witty humor, and genuinely surprising twists and turns. It addresses important themes of racism, classism, and prejudice. It's soon to be a major motion picture from Universal Pictures, with Marcia Martin from Blackish starring and producing it. And it says that it's perfect for fans of fantasy series including Harry Potter, Artemis Fowl, and Nevermore. So yeah, it is blurred by Jessica Townsend, who is the author of Nevermore series. So yeah, I'm excited to dive into it. I don't know much about it. I just know that it's a middle grade fantasy, and it sounds epic, so I got it. Okay, so the next book I got is Hollowpox by Jessica Townsend. It is The Hunt for Morgan Crow, which is the 3rd book in the Nevermore series, and yeah, we have it. And it is a middle grade fantasy that follows Morgan Crow. If you haven't read Nevermore, then you'd have to read Nevermore to know what this book is about, but yeah, there we go. Then I got 2 books from Shadow Mountain Press. This one is called Stella. It's by McCall Hoyle. It's a special dog must find the courage to save her human. We love to see that. That is gorgeous. And then I have Real by Cujec and Peyton Goddard. And it's I Am Intelligent is what it says. This is about a 13-year-old girl named Charity who may have mad math skills and a near perfect memory, but with a mouth that she can't speak and a body that jumps rocks and howls unpredictably. Most people incorrectly assume she cannot learn. So she has autism. She's on the autistic spectrum, and yeah, she's nonverbal autism. So that's going to be interesting to read. So we have these 2 books that I got, and I can't wait to dive into those. So next we're going to get into all the books that I got from Jean Book Nerd, either for the Jean Book Nerd Storytellers box or for her reviewer program that I'm a part of. I sign up for a lot of reviews with her, and she always sends physical copies out, either her or the publishers or the authors. So the first one I got is actually from the Grim Reader box collection for 2020. So if you haven't seen that unboxing, click the article to that video. But I have The Sundown Motel by Simone St. James, and I believe this is a thriller. It is a dual timeline that takes place in 1982 and 2017, but they are both connecting because in 1982 there was a woman named Viv Delaney that moved to New York and worked at the Sundown Motel and then goes missing, and then in 2017 her niece, I believe it is, her niece Carly Kirk decides that she wants to investigate and find out what happens to her aunt, so she goes to the Sundown Motel. So it sounds interesting. I'm trying to give thrillers and suspenses a try. I'm not big on them at all, so I'm excited to give it a go. So we have this. The next 5 books, I believe, are for reviews that I've either done already or are coming up. So this is from Sarah B. Larson. It's Warriors of Wing and Flame, and it is a sequel to Sisters of Shadow and Light. Yeah, so we have this as a YA fantasy. My review is already up. You can click down below to the description box to go to my review, but we have this. I love the cover. I love the bright red. It's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. And the cover is actually red as well on the book, so we have it. Next, I have The Brightest Night by Jennifer L. Armentrout. This is the 3rd book in the Origin series she has going on, and it's a signed edition, which is awesome. I did do my review already, so you can click down below to the description to go to that review link. But it is signed by Miss JLA, and I'm a fan of her writing. I don't read too much of her books, so yeah, I did read it already though. So we have this book. Then we have Spellbreaker by Charlie and Holmberg, and I actually already read a book from her. I read this one, if I can grab it. So it's The Will in the Wild, which was another fantasy from her, new adult fantasy, and I did enjoy this. I think I gave it a 4-star rating, maybe a 3.75, can't remember. But yeah, this one is Spellbreaker, and I'm super excited to dive into this. It's, again, adult fantasy. I think it's adult fantasy or new adult. It's either new adult or adult, but it deals with an orphan girl named Elise Camden. And she learns that there's 2 wizards in the world. Those who pay for the power to cast spells, and those like her born with the ability to break them. Ooh, so she can break spells. Yes, this is going to be interesting, and I'm sure there is going to be a romance in here that's going to make me swoon. So yeah, we have this book here. Next book I have is Catfishing on the Catnet by Naomi Kritzer, I think that's how you say that. if you guys can see. This is a YA thriller all about the internet, and it says, how much does the internet know about you? It sounds interesting. I know that there is a sequel already out. I do have an actual e-arc from NetGalley for the sequel, so I'm super excited for that. And yeah, it sounds like it's going to be a little creepy. It follows 16-year-old Steph, and yeah, the Catnet. It's the online community called Catnet, a social media site where users upload cat pictures. So that's interesting. Cat pictures. Yeah, YA thriller. My review for this will be coming soon. So yeah, I don't know. Cat pictures. Okay, moving on. We have Everything I Thought I Knew by Shannon. I'm not gonna attempt, but Shannon T is what I'm gonna say. And this is a YA contemporary. It's supposed to be hard hitting. It says One Heart, Infinite Possibilities, and I like the cover. It's actually really nice now that I'm looking at it. But on the back it says heart wrenching and beautiful, page turning, mind bending story of hope and healing. It broke my heart, left me breathless. So yeah, it's a YA contemporary. I'm excited to dive into this. Okay, so the next book I picked up from Walmart. I always go to Walmart. We're literally at Walmart like once a week, or maybe once every 2 weeks, depending on what we need. So I always run through the aisle, and they have an aisle specifically for books at this Walmart, which is amazing. So I finally just decided to get this book because I have the first one. I own most of her books except for maybe 2 or 3, which are her like novella bind-ups. And it's The Lost Book of the White by Cassandra, Clare, and Wesley Chu. It's the second book in the Eldest Curses. I have not read the first one yet. I haven't continued on because I actually just want to binge read the entire Shadowhunters World books again. But yeah, it's the second book, and I paid $17.48 for this. This book retails for about $24.99, and yeah, it's just amazing. And the interesting thing about this is under the dust jacket, like under the cover, there's another cover. So this is the cover on the inside, which is like all white, which is epic. It's dope. I like that. But it's interesting because the first one I bought I also got from Walmart, and it doesn't have that. So I don't know, but I'm excited. I'm excited for it. I'm excited to read it. I love Magnus Payne. I think Magnus Payne is amazing. We love him. Oh, and then we get Clary, Jason, Isabel in this as well. Simon too. Okay, I love Alec, of course, but I'm just looking. I'm not gonna read that because I haven't read the first one, but we love Magnus Payne. So yeah, we have that. And then I have the 3 books that I picked up from Book of the Month. If you haven't seen my Book of the Month unboxing, click out to go to that video. But these were my October picks. So my main pick was, I believe it was this book. I believe my main pick was The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by V.E. Schwab, which is a YA fantasy about a girl who makes a deal with the devil in a sense, where she wants to live forever, but in her living forever, people tend to forget who she is the minute they lose sight of her, until she runs across this one guy that can remember her. So yeah, I heard that the twist in this is freaking crazy, so I'm excited to dive into this. And I'm not going to go into this with the mindset of this being a love story between a girl and a devil, because that's how they marketed it, and unfortunately because they marketed it that way, it's not getting the rave reviews that it should get, because many people are loving the book, but because of how they marketed the book, it's not getting the good kind of talk. But I'm still excited to read this. So we have that. Then I have A Deadly Education by Naomi Novik. I have read Spinning Silver, didn't care too much for it, like at all. So I'm hoping this one does me some justice with her writing. And if not, I will try Uprooted. But we have this, which is a sort of dark fantasy all about a school where in order for you to graduate, you have to survive. You basically have to survive the school and not die. If you die, you fail. Pretty much. And the main character, I believe she is the daughter of like a white, like a good witch or something like that. She goes to the school, and these people expect her to be the opposite of her mother, to like balance out things and become evil, but she doesn't want to be evil, and she's consistently saved by like the white prince of the school, and she can't stand him. So I'm excited to get into this. It's a small book, it's not that big, so I'm excited to dive into this. Then I have Piranesi by Susanna Clarke, and she is the author of, what's the name of that book? I always forget the name of the book. Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell, which I do own, but this might be the best bet for me because Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell is long. This is short, so I'm gonna give this a go, and I heard that it's really fun and quick to read, so we have that. Okay, the last set of books are books that I picked up from Barnes & Nobles. I go to Barnes & Nobles maybe 3 to 4 times a month. Yeah, that's like almost every Saturday I go. It's like a trip my mother and I, it's like our like sort of thing we do for me and her to bond. We literally go to Barnes & Nobles, pick up 2 to 3 books each, and then that's it. That's like something we normally do. So I have a stack of books here that I picked up. So I don't even know. Okay, so these 3 I got at the same time. I take that back. These 4 I got at the same time, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Whatever, I don't even remember. But I have Cemetery Boys by Aiden Thomas. I got the YA book exclusive edition. I was gonna get the regular one, but then when I was getting ready to check out, I saw this one and it was just gorgeous under the dust jacket. Like, we could not buy this, okay? She's gorgeous. So all that I know is that this follows what's his name, Yadriel, and he summons a ghost. He's from a traditional Latinx family. They have problem accepting him and his gender. He wants to prove himself as a real brujo. He gets help from his cousin to perform the quinces ritual, I think that's how you say that, to find out the ghost of his murdered cousin Miguel. But he actually revives Julian Diaz, who is a school's resident bad boy, and it's kind of his romance and stuff like that. And if I'm not mistaken, he might be transgender. I'm not sure. I know that the author is definitely transgender. Yeah. So Aiden Thomas is a queer trans Latinx author. So I'm excited. I've heard rave reviews about this, and it sounds like it's going to be fun, because in this book, even though Yadriel is born as a female, he sees himself as a man and his family does not accept it, and I'm excited to read it. I want to read it. So we have this book. Then I got When No One Is Watching by Alyssa Cole. I have not read any Alyssa Cole books, like any. I have her romances, but I have not read them yet. And then I know that a lot of people were raving about this, which is a thriller all about gentrification in Brooklyn. And I am from New York. I'm a New York City girl. I was born in the Bronx, but I spent many times in Brooklyn, in Queens, in Harlem, and things like that. So this sounds amazing. I'm definitely interested to check this out and see what it's about. So I got this book. The next book I got is The Starless Sea by Erin Morgenstern. I have read The Night Circus from her. I gave it a 3.5 star rating. But I'm excited to read this. It's basically about a guy who finds this book, and he reads the book and he finds that there are bits and pieces of his life in the story, and it's just his journey with that. And I'm excited to see where this goes. I'm excited. That's all that I have to say about it. So we have this. Then I have Bitches by V.E. Schwab. I have read this already. I just haven't read Vengeful because I'm terrible at following up with her duologies. I read this Savage Song. I have not read the sequel either. So her trilogy I finished. Her duologies I never finished. So I did enjoy Vicious, and they had it BOGO, and it was the only book on the table that I wanted to get to pair with this book. So yeah, you can see the BOGO sticker is still there. I just got it. I read Vicious before. I think I gave it a 4-star rating. I enjoyed it, so I don't mind rereading it and then picking up the sequel, Vengeful, because I have not read it. So I probably will buy the sequel in physical format. So we have that. Okay, and then I have Age of Myth by Michael J. Sullivan. I have seen Michael J. Sullivan everywhere as a fantasy author, and I want to read some of his books. I do own a lot of his arcs from NetGalley, from I think this series or another series that I can't start because I've never started a book from him. So I got this one. It's the first book in the Legends of the First Empire. I hope this is the first book. I'm going to have to check on Goodreads. It's book 1 to the series, but I don't know if there's like a series before that or whatever the case may be. I don't know. I gotta look up on Goodreads and figure it out. But I got the mass market because it was cheap. It was $10. So yeah, got it. And I like the cover. The cover is nice. It's like the cute little white doggy. That's so random, but yeah. Then I got Court of Lions by Samaya Dodd. Now, I do own Mirage, which is literally right here. I have Mirage, the original cover, which I love. And I gave it a 3.5 star rating. It was fun. It was cute. It was quick, but I didn't really care. But I am going to continue on because I don't know if this is going to be a duology or a trilogy. I'm not sure yet. I really don't know. But I do love the new cover, and we had to represent and buy it. So, yeah. Next book I got is The Dragon Republic by R. Kwan. This is the second book in the Poppy War series. Trilogy, excuse me. I do own the Poppy War right here. So I decided to pick up The Dragon Republic. Many people rave about this trilogy, and I don't want to start it and then not have the next book. So I decided to pick up the paperback copy of this just to match my paperback copy of the Poppy War. And I do have an e-arc of The Burning God. But I don't know when they're going to come out with a paperback. So I'm like, I don't know when to start it. But many people are like raving about it. And I really want to start it because I love a grim dark fantasy. So yeah, we have this. I have A Winter's Promise by Crystal DeBaus. I think that's how you say that. It's the first book in the Mirror Visitor, and I've heard many people rave about this. I know that this was originally written in a different language. I don't know what language that was, though. I forgot. It is a fantasy thriller with magic, so it's a fantasy thriller, which sounds really good. It's translated from French, so it was originally written in French. So I'm excited to dive into this and read it. I know that the other 2 books are out already that I do want to get, but yeah, I was only $11.95. I don't know why I thought it was more than that. I probably should have just bought the other 2 books, so I probably will have to do that depending on how I feel though with the first book. But we have that. I'm excited to get into it, and I love the cover. It's really pretty. I love the blue foiling as well. Okay, so the last 4 books I got from their like bargain section. If you've ever been to Barnes and Nobles, you know they have like these little sections in the front by the cashier where they have like books for like certain deals, $8, $5, $10, $6, something like that. So I picked up 4 of them. The first one is this novella. It's The Perfect Shadow by Brent Weeks. It's a part of his Night Angels trilogy. I have the first 2 books. I read the first book. I wanted to get the novella, so I got it. It was only there for $6, so why not? And it's so cute and tiny. It's so cute. It's like a tiny hardcover mass market paperback, and I do love the Night trilogy, the Night Angel trilogy. So yeah, I'm excited to dive into this. And then I got this. Now I know that Book of the Month has both of his books on there, and I wasn't sure if I wanted to pick it up, and I've been putting it in my Book of the Month box, taking it out, putting it in, taking it out, and then when I went to Barnes and Nobles, I saw that they had it for $7, so I decided to go ahead and give it a try. I've heard many great things about it, and again, I'm not big on mysteries, thrillers, and horrors, so anytime someone says that, like, for them, if they're like a thriller reader or horror reader or mystery reader, if they say it's a 3-star rating for them, then it might be just right for me. So I've seen many people give this book a 4-star rating, so I decided to give it a go, and it's The Whisper Man by Alex North. I know that they also have the sequel. Can't think of the sequel right now on Book of the Month, which I probably will get depending on how I feel. But this was only $7, and this book retails for $27. Yeah, $26.99. So I'm excited to dive into this. I love the cover. It's nice. It's really weird with the hand on the front. I think the second book is called The Shadows that he has. But yeah, The Whisper Man. I have it by Alex North. I'm gonna give it a go, and hopefully I don't freak myself out. Okay, so the last 2 books I have are from the same author, from the same trilogy, and I only needed book 2 because I already had book 1 in a mass market paperback, and then my mom purchased book 3, so I really just needed book 2. But I saw that they had both book 1 and 2 for $8, so I said why not. And the book I'm talking about is Year One by Nora Roberts. It's a part of the Chronicles of One trilogy, and like I said, I own book 1 in the mass market paperback, so I'm probably just gonna put this to the side for like a giveaway or sell it or something. I don't know yet, but I have that, and I saw they had the hardcover, and I wanted the hardcover because the end pages are stunning to me. I love the artwork on the end pages. Okay, it was $8. It retails for $27.99, right? So then they also had book 2, which was also $8, and it's Of Blood and Bone, the sequel. Again, gorgeous end pages. And this one is $1 more. It's $28.99. Oh, that is so nice. Does this one have it too? I did not know that. So on the actual books, my other one doesn't have that though, I don't think. It has like NR in the middle, her initials, in foil. That is so dope. I did not know that until I just took off the dust jacket. So we have Year One. Try not to drop my books. Let's try not to do that. We have Of Blood and Bone, like I said, with the gorgeous end pages. But oh, that is a gold apple. That is so dope. I'm just like looking at this. So I know about the eagle, but there's a gold apple like right there. That is so dope. But then this one has the orange with the gold in R. So dope. These must be copies that are like sent out to book club editions. And then like I said, I already owned book 3, which I don't think it has that on it, does it? No, my book 3 doesn't have that. I got it from a different company. But book 3 is A Rise of Magics, which I already owned. So yeah, I am glad to finally have these books. I don't have any more space on my bookshelf. I have a problem. It's gonna be hard when it's time to move because we're moving soon. So yeah, I'm gonna have to figure out how to reorganize my books somehow, some way. But that is it for my book haul. All of these books, if you read any of these books, let me know. If you want to see a review on any of these books, let me know. I'm gonna start doing reading blogs because I do reading blogs on my other channel. when I'm reading like my Christian biblical fiction books. But I don't know why I get skeptical doing a reading blog on this channel, but I'm definitely thinking about doing a reading blog on this channel. Probably like a weekly reading blog where I have some clips of me reading books throughout the week. So we'll see. We'll see. I'm currently reading Home Before Dark by Riley Sager. My first Riley Sager book. I have another one of his books coming in the mail soon. I am 257 pages in, and just what the actual heck is going on. I'm at the part where we find Petra's body. No, I'm confused. Like, is House of Horrors a real story? Is it a made-up story? Is it truth with some lie? Like, I don't know anything. I know Maggie Holt's father is crazy. I know that not the Whisper Man, the Shadow Man. I think that's what the Shadow Man is what she calls him. I don't know. I'm confused. I'm thoroughly confused at this point. It's not scary. It's not giving me like horror vibes. It's definitely thriller-esque. It has me on my toes. Like, my heart be pounding. I'm also listening to the audiobook as I'm reading. But I'm enjoying this so far. It might be a 4 stars depending on how the ending goes, but I'm enjoying it so far. So I plan to finish this today and then dive straight into Ninth House because I need to read Ninth House. Like, I need to read it. So yeah. But that is it for this video. If you guys want to see anything, like I said, let me know, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.